Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Delhi, which we've made great progress in the advancement of territories. Like, we took bits of Jawanpur, while we annexed entirely of Multan, even giving this piece to our ally Malwa. And obviously, when you have overextension, that leads to problems, such as these rebel factions, as you can see to the right side of the screen. Yeah, we're gonna have to deal with a lot of... But heaven forbid that we should be dealing with these Sirhindi nobles. Even though it would be called Delhi nobles, but we were originally Sirhind. Keep that well in mind. And such. That, I'm trying to think in my head. I mean, yeah, we'll be recovering, which we need close to 3,000 men, so... We'll be nearly out of manpower, and we should have enough manpower to deal with any separatist rebellions that takes place here. And while we have plans for Afghanistan, and that is in future that we will declare war against them and take all their territories, and eventually we'll face the Timurids, because subdue the Afghans is one of the missions, which you have to control all of this, while Ghazni is held by the Timurids, which we could never ever ally with them because historical rival. They're the ones that raided the Delhi Sultanate long ago, but they never made any intentions to try to conquer it. Well then, sooner or later, the tables will be turned. We'll take Afghanistan and we'll take it to the Timurids. In fact, all the areas that has Afghan culture in it. While there's Timurid Persia, which will have that separated. But of course, we need some friends to face the Timurids in the future. But the Timurids are not allied with Afghanistan because they had fought each other once. So there's bad blood between them. So the plan in future is fight against Afghanistan, finish off Jawanpur in future, and then well, as the mission line's concerned, we'll have to subdue Malwa one day. Which to do that, we have to take all these areas far in the future. But that's after Sultan Restore, which had to defeat Jawanpur by... Wait, that's not a reason for Malwa War. Kalpi, the one that got away. And Ranthambore, held by Miwat. We also have to deal with that vassal too. Even though there is no liberty desire. As I said, it's Miwat that'll be the thorn on the side of Delhi. Because of the close proximity of the area. But we'll get this fully cored by next year should nothing terrible happen. And if I want to, I could invest this new idea, which land maintenance modifier will be very good, but I'm saving that to Arquebus. Because a new cavalry type, military tactics up, combat win, infantry fire, infantry suck. We need all spoons. And building barracks for even more local manpower modifier in certain areas will be very, very good. And I have to get that second set of ideas. And I already decided what that's gonna be when that time comes. Going for economic. Because, you know, the more we expand, the more taxation there is, but obviously there can be some problems later on. But not if we improve it economically. Which one day, when we control most of northern India from one end of the sea to the other, we will be an economic powerhouse. To the point where if we control northern India, nobody in the central or the south can stop us. Not even those over there in Iranian lands. And I wouldn't even dream about expanding it to there or up to there because well, they're all enjoying prosperity for devastation. Actually, I was looking for development. I mean, what is there to be there? This has very low development. There's no reason to be up there. I have no desire to expand into Tibetan lands. Well, there is some development in Afghanistan, but not so much in the Afghan parts that are controlled by the Timurids. Not so much for Sindh. There's pretty good development in Jaunpur, I mean along the Gangetic Plain. And in the future, that one day we will break the alliance with Bengal and take all this too. We'll be very rich just by taking northern India alone. The entire northern half. As the mission line says. But then again, that's a flaw of mine. That's me personally. I am a very ambitious person. Both in-game and in real life. You dream of delusions of grandeur. But you've got to fight to get those dreams fulfilled, you know. It's what my family friends once told me in real life, that I'm an ambitious person that you always strive for. I'm like, yeah, that's right. I set my own goals and I do them. That's what it is, basically. So, let's unpause this right now. Oh, well. Those Rajputs need a little more influence, you know. Oh, and by the way, for Afghanistan, breaking up that royal marriage, I forgot to do that. Break royal ties, but... Really? What if I were to declare war against them? Ah, damn it. That's because of friendly relations between us, right? No, it doesn't matter. Unless they break up first. If the country has higher stability, I'll do that. Iron ore quality problems. One of our iron ore mines hit some lower quality iron ore. This made outfitting our units more expensive for 2 years. Poor iron. Where is the iron that comes from? It's been a while since I took a look at the trade goods ever since we did a lot of expansion. Glass here. Some cotton, some silk, cloth. Ah, that's where the iron came from. Hold on, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. And knowing that one day we will fight against Jaunpur and take that. There's this other mission. Silk Road. Okay, we're halfway there. 4 out of 8. Not like that, but thanks for highlighting it. So this would be 5, 6, 7. Okay. Bengal is where all the silk is. No wonder why they're rich. We have to be the leading producer of silk. And that's what we gotta do. And the spices, this is what, trade enough spices to get extra bonuses. One of these must be true. Like a Coromandel, Hormuz. Well, Coromandel is down there, unfortunately. If we want to get down to South India, far, far in the future. Yeah, way down the line. Don't worry about that yet. This is what I mean. The more we expand, the more likely that Delhi will become an economic powerhouse as it was in its heyday. Alright, we're here. This is what this is for. This is just to suppress the unrest a bit. In other words, delay them. We'll do what we can to slow it down until we core the areas. As well as have our manpower to recover. To start recovering more. Remember Afghanistan. Till March of 1481. You're next. Golden era for our culture. With peace in our country, the great musicians, artists, and poets are rejoicing in the capabilities of entertaining their betters. This era of cultural enlightenment is definitely improving the mood of Delhi. Wow. Use this to hire promising artists for our court, because I'm well connected and will gain a lot more prestige, as if it needs to be. Let me see this person. 3 instead of 2. But however, he's a bit costly. So that'll be a monthly increase of 8 a month. Sure, give me him. And we'll fire the old fella. That'll get us there faster. Access? Yeah. What you doing? Sistan, Gujarat, Sindh, Kandesh, Nagar. Oh. What did you do? On, attacking Sindh. Oh, you started it. Well, are they involved? Hassa? Yes. They're involved. Mahra? Yes. Actually, no. Sure, we'll give them access, but I don't think that's wise. And aren't they Timurids? Ajam. That's a big one. Timurids, yes. Ah. Oh, you're the one that attacked the Timurids. Because they want some parts of it back. Yeah, here. They want Persia back. Even though they're Uzbeks themselves, but you get the idea. They were one of the Timurid factions. Spread of extreme practices in the late Middle Ages saw the emergence of several new forms of Islamic mysticism. One of the most controversial is being the brand of Sufi dervishes known as the Renunciationists. These men sought to separate themselves entirely from normal society, shaving all body hair down to their eyebrows and publicly breaking the rules of the Sharia in order to demonstrate their unique relationship with God. All while wandering from town to town begging for alms, our religious scholars are calling for their persecution, arguing that the uneducated populace tendency to view them with awe and lead them away from the true faith. That sounds like the asceticism that you see around here in India. I expelled them from Lahore. When it says technology cost, would it mean like that in general? Hmm? Do they mean it like that? Yes. They actually mean that. Like hell. Unless you're involved in a war. I know we have marriage ties and all that, but no. You're next. As I said. Oh, think. Thinking ahead. You know, that legalism. Again. If we can reduce the technology cost to, you know, a little bit more, if we keep going that way. Well, there is a national decision. Enforce religious unity. It's missionary strain versus heretics. Actually, no. You're thinking of one of those few other things that I saw. Oh. Oh, never mind. No, clearly I was thinking of something else. That move towards, you know, legalism and all that. But anyways. Still allied with Gujarat. And Kamaun will be dealt with in future. You know, they're the nice guys, but rivals of Malwa. Allied to rival. Yeah, the aggressive expansion is a bit of... a miracle of life. In these dark days of war and death, a reminder of new beginnings can ease the pains of our people. Our great Sultan Mubarak Shah and his noble Sultana Begum Malika Bibi have been blessed with another child. The arrival of the baby has brought new hope and energy to the royal couple, and by extension to their court and subjects. Many people dream that this child will grow up to be better, in a better, brighter future, and all that fighting will be thus worth it in the end of it. Blessed be Mubarak Shah Malika Bibi and her new baby. Lose war exhaustion. Do we still have that, right? Oh, good. All the way down. That'll reduce the national unrest. Very good. This is just what the nation needs. New Madras. Prominent citizens of Lower Doab have made a number of charitable donations for the establishment of the new madrasa in Kota. They have invited scholars from not only the wider Lower Doab, but also from Delhi and even foreign theologians. Wonderful. For 10 years. Kora, that's here. About to be fully cored now. Multan should be a state. It's very good territory. And also, I never paid attention to edicts. So core all will be 67. Fair enough. I never paid attention to these edicts, because they cost a little bit in maintenance. And there's no unrest here. Like, I mean, a little more trade power will do. Even though we have the most trade power, but we can increase that a little. Because some are still trying to, well, catch up. We'll make damn sure of it. So, protect trade. For increased statements by 200. Watch. See? That's one thing, but having more trade power means slightly more income, you know? If it can be prosperous, then we will get all these good benefits. Because nobody's disturbed the land. Ton of... I mean, I did this already, but... that's for this tiny area. No unrest. Yeah, they're starting to calm down now. This part here. And wouldn't lowering the autonomy would, what the autonomy change? Eek. Yeah. Trying to make an effort out of this. Although, don't need to do every single one of the states. Yeah, just one more edict for the big state of Lodi. Probably that. Centralized state. Spend 100 of government progress centralizing in a most developed province. They've never seen that feature before, that they added that recently. Then again, you look here. Can't centralize capital state, okay. And government progress is talking about this over here, I think. What's that, reform progress? It's one of these things. Here. Should I? Again, this is all new to me. Yeah. Again, don't need to do it all states, just a few certain ones. And yes, it costed a bit, but Sylvie's the mystical, less legalistic approach to Islam are often more welcome among the heathen than the highly educated ulema, or the soldiers of faith. Manifesting piety in other ways such as dance singing by blending the Islamic traditions with local ones, the Sufis are not always the best home with the religious establishment. The Sufi leaders managed to get quite a following in the Upper Dua, with a number of Hindu converts joining as disciples. His followers are clearing land for new settlements where they might live together, and this could well lead to a much greater Islamic influence in the entire area. Many along the ulema are asking that we send him on his way, as they fear that leading the true faithful astray and blurring the line between Islam and the Hindu faith. Just for 10 years, alright? More towards legalism, because, once again, reduced technology costs will get us closer to all this. While saving up money for whatever I need. Yeah. I think it should just let it go down naturally. They are winning. Boy, the Emir's a very high influence. Almost forgot it's about that time. Well, the Emir's very important for that manpower recovery speed, knowing of how fast we tend to expand. But it would be nice to get those two back together. But we shall see. Just to have more influence and all that. The Brahmins are just a bit of magnificent house of worship and shortcut to have followers might have adequate place to congregate in the province. The Rajputs have been casting a jealous eye on northern Sindh as an area they claim would make a fine addition to our nation. They call for a military campaign to secure part of ourselves. As a minority for the Delhi state, the Jains feel disadvantaged in many aspects of life. They ask that we assure them of their status by granting them further privileges. A mosque would help, yes. Rajputs, we'll have a claim on the northern Sindh area, which, to be exact, that's here. The entirety of it, including Baluchistan. What Jains is to give them 2 privileges. And the only reward I get from them is just more loyalty, but building a mosque would give us base tax up a bit, increasing development slightly. And these privileges, that if I were to give it to them, you know, that may help. Huh. Even though I won't give away some of my Kranlan. Look, I would give Jains a privilege, but not 2, just to get loyal out of. So go with what the Brahmins say. So, sure, there'll be a mosque here. The ulema would say the same thing if I were to give them something. But as for the Jains, yeah, I'll give them a privilege because, you know, it means more loyalty and then. Reduced absolutism. Where can I read that? I'll look it up somewhere. I mean, the development cost reduction. I mean, that's very good. And the state maintenance, because we made some edicts. And made a couple of states as we are an ever-expanding nation. So I'll give it to you. There you have it. Ah, here it is. That appears in the age of absolutism. Oh, we're not there yet. That's far off. Don't worry about that. I think given those, that privileges to the giants, just for state maintenance reduction actually helped. So that was a good move after all. Even though I'm usually hesitant about such things. Let me take a drink. Drinking water, bear in mind. Our Sultanate Begum Malika Bibi has impressed many men and women at the court with her sharp wit and extensive knowledge of the natural world. She has long been a collector of tomes on botany and chemistry, and she corresponds with several of our generation's brightest minds. Currently, one of these scientists are visiting our quarters for our Sultana Begum's invitation. They keep about discussing all sorts of new theories far into the wee hours of the night. Sultana Begum Malika Bibi has asked us to make a scientist an offer, claiming that she would make a much better advisor than the artist Sher Sharma we currently employ. Are you sure about that? Also, are you at war? Because I thought I just saw something from there. Or I must be crazy. Let me see. Saffron. Production efficiency. But I'll just say, no, we should ask the artist, Shashama, to work harder, which I'll gain some administrative power, which is definitely needed. Remember what I'm going for. Economic ideas. Some of our grain farms have an excellent, allowing us to feed more troops and increasing our manpower. You can never have too much manpower. Almost halfway to where we can manage a war against Afghanistan or the smaller countries. And they're nearly out of manpower. They had no admirals on either side. Just only the ones that lose more ships is the one that's going to give them the retreat. Improvements in government technology. A few local workers in the administration discovered that what they claim is a more efficient way to handle documents. Obviously, they do not know what they are talking about, but it can't hurt to let them try their new ideas. Well, be careful with that inflation, you know, of how costly these things can be. But I'll spare no expense because I want those ideas now. And we got it. Whew. It's going to be too far away to get this next level technology, and we will be getting this soon, and we'll have our new cavalry. Economic ideas is what I've said, and that's the way it's going to be. So that's what we'll be spending on administrative technology from then on. And this is important, the yearly inflation reduction, knowing that we keep on expanding by, you know... Oh no, what I meant to say is, those peace deals we make, that we just take ducats from our enemies. And that increases inflation. And we kind of want to reduce that. Because I don't feel like, you know, reducing them myself. Even if I wanted it to. But, where are we ranked, by the way, in the Great Powers? I know we're not anywhere near them. But, not even at England's level. Obviously. Boy, them spying on us greatly, but it doesn't matter, because one day we will finish them off. You got 3 years, Afghanistan, and we're coming to you. It's alright. Shortcut, we got it. Base tax up. It's a Hindu house of worship, so don't plan on converting them anytime soon. Prosperity, there's a 25% chance increase each month. Yeah, that's due to the skills. Currently enjoying prosperity. No devastation in the state and stability on. And we could develop more of the surrounding areas rather than Lahore itself. Because that costs a bit much, whereas this, much cheaper. But I already made up my mind on this sort of thing. They're probably gonna go to war soon. No, they don't have the manpower, but I noticed one of them's drilling. Oh, Sind made a big gain. What good are you to me now? We're dissolving this alliance. Look what you're reduced to. Useless. So yeah, they're back. They were once reduced to a rump state, then after separatism they joined back with their motherland, and now they made a comeback. But what's their views on the Timurids? Because, you know, we might make use of them, although they are threatened by us. May never know. We could use them. Even though they're allied with Gujarat, our off-and-on enemy. Because we need some help taking on Afghanistan and in the future the Timurids. And once we're done with them and taking all the Afghan land, then we're coming down there. Here we go. Now it's Indian cavalry archers, the newest units, compared to the old Indian cavalry that we simply use. The cavalry archers, little more shock. Yes. Throughout the 15th century, cavalry continued to be the most influential of the combat arms in India. The arrival of Babur in the early 16th century and the birth of the Mughal Empire came to further excellent this trend. Babur made a large use of contingents of cavalry archers from the steppes of Transoxiana during his invasion, and the Mughals who came after him would continue to rely on large cavalry arm. As the other states in northern India tried to catch up with the Mughal military machine, many of them came to rely on increasing the use of Central Asian adventurers as cavalry officers. One of these Afghan adventurers would come to found the short-lived Suri Empire in the eastern and central India. Yeah, more offensive shock now. You have it. So some of the morale from the regiments have been reduced because we just got these new units. Again, they're willing to ally. There'll be some use of you, yet. Who are your enemies? Oh, just only them. And nobody else. Okay. You got it. I know it's too many relations because I still want to break up with Afghanistan. Break royal ties, I mean. And even declare war against it would have... There'll still be reduction of stability. And I gotta start currying favors with you now. Sure. Higher the relations, the more favors will be coming in. Again, you got good manpower reserves. We'll let it happen. We'll put him down soon enough. Stop trying to suppress the rebellion. Take your leave. Get ready to put them down. If they're gonna rebel, let them. And no, we're not going back. We have the manpower to recover to do so. So, as I said, we stopped trying to suppress the rebellion, just let it happen. Even though provoking a revolt would bring them a little more regiments out. Which again, we could put them down easily. When we are on top. Yeah. Our heir, yeah, he's grown up now. He's tolerant. Tolerant to heretics and heathens. You got a lot more to learn, son. may never know that. May never know that I'll give you military command, and then you'll be drilling one of the armies, and then improve your skills further. Hell, I may never know that you might be better than all of us. And it says that I have another child in the line of succession. You know what? Provoke him. We're gonna be right on top of him. Alright. Come down easily. See? Acceptable losses. Anybody else? If we were to provoke him, that'll be... I mean, it's just we wanted to get it over with. Just get rid of these separatists already. Just provoke them all. And then transfer the armies to the west. The worldly dilemma. Head over here. And here. Not all the members of the ulema are great theologians or intellectuals. Corruption can grow in any quarter of the state. However, some can be hard to tell apart what benefits the faith and what might benefit themselves. It's come to attention of Mubarak Shah that a number of pious grants that exist around the empire have obtained through fraud or illegally passed on to heirs. Our Wazir has suggested that we inspect and verify all such grants in the Sultanate, especially in regions that were not originally ruled by us. This would clearly be a grave affront to the ulema, however, who would see it as an encroachment on their privileges and attack on their caste as a whole. Yikes. The ulema are very loyal to us, but I don't want to have corruption. But I'll say only traitors have anything to fear, so their privileges will be infringed for 10 years, thus lowering the tolerance of the true faith a little. But I just don't want to have corruption this time, and yes, we have a lot of money to throw around. Ah, yes. Again, in a theoretical conflict against Afghanistan. Yes, you have a truce with them, but we're trying to get up with favors with Sindh and all that. Do not worry. When that time comes, wasn't there another building I was supposed to build? Oh yeah, production efficiency, and you know, production is another source of income. And having more barracks increases local manpower modifier, but there is room for 2 until I develop it a bit more. Anyways, the Rajputs. So I don't think it's wise to provoke, you know, slightly more regiments could take, you know, a little bit out of it. Well, meanwhile, I'm still anxious to break up at least of one rule marriage, and that'll be Afghanistan, obviously. Unless you would, well, just, will break up through warfare anyways, upon declaration. Next March. And hopefully we'll get enough favors in time. But we can improve relations a little more, just to increase that speed a little further. And you can stop current favors with Bengal. They're good enough of us. A rising star. Throughout his career, Iqbal Loya has left a strong impression on everyone he has met or worked with. From his time as a promising student to his rise of positions, increasing responsibility, has consistently done well and found new solutions to wherever problems he has faced. It is clear that somewhat of his background, both as a commoner and as a Hindu, he has now reached about as high as he can come. It would raise quite a few eyebrows to have a man, no matter how talented, who's in the highest offices of state with such a background. Spy network construction. A remarkable individual, but all we have our place in, we all have our place in life. And I wish I would found the time to drill all these armies again, but no, we made our intentions known. Supply limit is there. And confident about Sind, despite the small numbers, but they can create more regiments with those manpower reserves that they could back us up in the Afghan conflict. That will soon begin. And mercenaries might be needed if need be. Just only the cheap ones. There we go. Improved even more relations with Mao, even though we're basically best friends. But we've been best friends for a long time. Whoa, 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 whoa. Defender of the Faith. I forgot. When you save up this amount of money, you could become Defender of the Faith if you wish to. To enforce religious unity. More missionaries, more morale, more exhaustion. Yeah. Even though I'm not in the mood to conversion, but that's good to know. And plus, going up against Afghan territory is mostly Sunni anyhow. Oh, they got a problem. Baluchistani separatists. And they got a very good... You were standing right in the middle of them. Well, man. Having our first artillery in the future would be good as well. Well, we'll have enough favors from Sind to join the war against Afghanistan, but seems they got problems unless we want to help them out. Ah, your friends are Sind. But again, Timurids warning them. The Timurids are busy and they're out of manpower. Losing big time. So it's likely they'll have some territorial gains here, but the Timurids are trying to... But remember, we do have a cash spell against Ghazni. But should we really try to bail him out first? Oh, excuse me. Because I think we should take care of this problem first. I mean, we'll have enough manpower to deal with separatists locally and the Afghan war and their allies. Let's get together. Well, let it happen. So increase the size of regiments, and then we're going to take care of that little problem of yours. So, lack of control of hostile forces. They will be the attacker, and they will have a -2 penalty. We'll devastate him. See? Mountains. We outnumber them greatly. Even though it's going to take a while to recover. We sure gave them a beating. You're not going to have any trouble with them anymore. Well, meanwhile, we'll recover. But until we are fully reinforced and ready to go, then we can start. Say, saved you a bunch of trouble. Hey, gonna tell you to prepare for war. Well, actually, they're good enough to help us out anyway, should they? Let me see. Yeah, you'll be the difference maker. And how about you, Bengal? I know it's kind of far off from here. And you're gonna have to ask for somebody from military access for you to get there. And we may have a separatist problem, so we can go back and deal with it ourselves while you all duke it out up there. Who knows? Who knows? And it's going to be 3 years for the Truce of Jaunpur to expire. Even though I hope for a quick war, but I fear that probably won't be the case. Because you know how sometimes I'm a bit of a pessimist for such thinking. But don't declare it now. Wait until everybody's fully recovered, full strength and all. Even though we're not going to be coming in well drilled. Not gonna be like it used to. And we may have a rebellion very soon, which we could take care of that. And don't forget to increase stability. It's a habit of mine that I often tell myself this and that and the other. Full strength. I'm giving him 1 more month. See if anything occurs. Just as I suspected. This way. Delay on the start of war of Afghanistan. These Punjabi separatists from Multan. Got him in time. Damn it. That's all I gotta say about that. But we'll recover fine. Back to your position, and once you're there, then start the war. There'll be no more delays. In fact, get mercenaries. Just free company. Not grand. Just free. It's just basically reserves. Just to back them up. There we go. Let's start the war. Even though with Sind and Mawa joining, Bengal won't be there because the war's too far away, and I understand. Oh, we'll be dealing with Khorasan and Transoxiana, which they could be the difference makers, especially Transoxiana. Khorasan's a bit far off, while Afghanistan's weak at the moment, but main objective, Kabul. Even though that would lower the stability effects and adds a bit of war exhaustion just for breaking up this, royal marriage. But we hope for a quick resolution. So, whoa. Thank you. Let's confirm it. Bring it back up. And we could spend another just to keep things really stable, just to ensure that there'll be no rebellions under our watch. Really thinking about it, because what's better than one would be two. So that way it'll make sure that in case the ruler dies, you know what, screw it. Hopefully that'll slow him down. Now, move up. So would that be considered as in the marriage already? We do not have military access if we want to get to the other side. So, if you don't mind, well, we already got enough favors out of Sind. No need to improve relations. We're allies right now. Just in case. Let us in. Yes, we can cross through the other side, if need be. They're gonna link up with the Transoxianan forces. A likely story. Growth of the business of Tafeta. Our efforts to maximize the trading profits in the lower Doab areas borne fruit in the province's central Doab. Entrepreneurs have managed to greatly increase the output of the Tafeta and found new markets in our capital processed goods. 2 base production. Excellent. That helps with the development. No. I know what the future plans is after the Afghan conflict. Timurids would be next, as they're still in the middle of a war and a weakened state. We can drop them right now. Don't let them leave. Now head to here. We can provide backup if need be, in case the Afghan, Transoxian, and Khorasan. Matter of fact, they're all going to come together, you know? Mawa has come. There's the main Afghan forces moving away. They're in Timurid territory, you give them access. Since our income's very good, we could hire more mercenaries if need be, but you got a good enough manpower. We're not that desperate. So, try not to worry too much. Don't be such a pessimist as I have a tendency to be. Now the state of Lahore is a centralized state, as it should be. And you know they're not going to come down here, so you can mothball a few of these forts for income. Leave these two maintained. Try to begin the siege of Kabul now. Favoritism in Delhi. Mubarak Shah's blatant favoritism of Afghan culture is not going to notice the Hindavi people of Sultanate. Obstructionism has become ever more widespread as those have the power to do so make their frustrations of recent policies known through whatever means are available. There is no such favoritism. It's fine. Again, the Transoxianian forces could be the difference makers. They have a large army and a large manpower reserves. With their combined strength, they could crush us if we're not careful. But as long as we take the relevant objectives and just hope for a quick resolution, that's all I care about. Conquest of these areas. Oh boy, here we go. Well, yeah, that's just looking at leadership skills. Fighting the homeland. Oh, the Allies lost that one. Don't venture off too far next time. Oh, so that's where they went. Row would be a good fortress to have to keep because of the highlands, which marks as a border of Afghanistan and into India. That's what this should represent. You know, that also means next year. Yeah, it's pretty scary to see them in their combined strength like that. And taking all the Transoxianian forts is gonna take quite a bit of time. Long ago, this used to be the land of the Sogdians. Ro has fallen, opening the gateways into the Hindu Kush, as we are already on it now. Well, let's take this area quickly, even though the supply limit is not great here. I should spend some of that money right now on improvements. Like, how about a barracks here? And because of that development here, so production efficiency should be up here too. What else in the developed areas? We should build a workshop here too. Aha. Don't want to spend too much. Just gotta do something with that money, anyhow. Kabul will soon fall and we will have the objective. Well, we need to defeat their armies soon. We could try to get these guys out of the war, but it's gonna take a while. But as the old saying goes, you can't make decisions out in a vacuum. But we may have trouble from back home. Kabul is fallen. Which again, we can't negotiate surrender them right now if I wanted all these territories to fully annex them, but coalition would be formed and that would be the Timurids, which would make sense. But not right now. It's still too early. So we gotta get these two out of the war, particularly the Transoxianians, which they're a dangerous force. Move on ahead. We'll be right behind you. We'll soon fight the enemy, wherever they may be. There they are. Transoxianian. Try not to venture off too far. Otherwise you'll be in Khorasani territory, which, interestingly, they only have one fort. We can definitely occupy these very easily and knock these guys out of the war. Because they have a decent number of soldiers out there. Take all these areas, besiege just one fort, and then they're out. Make things easier for us. Their war enthusiasm is low, but the war score is not there yet. Oh, we know where you're going. This way. It's mountains. Be careful up there. They'll have a defense advantage. But we have the advantage in numbers. Yes, we outnumber them, but more reinforcements will be arrived during the course of this battle. But it's gonna hurt a lot, but we'll do what we can. As this is the first army, and we'll hope our Rajput regiments will do some good. And plus, we would already be in Khorasani now and just besiege anything that you see. Including taking this fort and get Khorasan out of the war. And this is their third army. They're gonna remain on stand too now. Whoa. This is probably gonna be costly for us. Know when to retreat, alright? Because their reinforcements are coming and so are we. Oh, and even more. I think we made a bad call. Yeah, very bad, very bad. Get out of there. You are being too overconfident. We need to get them when they are most separated. No, no, no! You're gonna get caught out there. got out of there in time. They're chasing us. That hurts. We were, as I said, we were overconfident on that one. That was my fault there. And they're gonna attempt to take their objective back, but as long as they're separated, we'll get them. Head to row. I'll be right there with you. We can defeat them easily here. When we bring them all together. The Afghans can't come this way unless they take the Kunduts route. But you know, they do have access. They've given them access, so... Oh gosh, this is difficult. Might hire a little more mercenaries if this keeps up. You know they're not going to be a country anymore, so breaking royal ties with them won't even matter. Stay there. Wait for allies. $34,000. Yeah, we were way too overconfident of what we did. How far are they gonna go away until we try to get Kabul, or they will all go to Kabul, and then that'll be even more of a problem. One of their movements locked. Take a crossing penalty in mountains up here. Oh, oh, we're already committed. They're here again. Terrible. What are we doing? What the hell are we doing? Growth of the city's attracts serfs. It seems the serfs are moving out of provinces they earn a living in the capital. This creating turmoil in the country, but our capital may benefit in the long run. We have to accept this. New Madrasa in Sialkot. We cannot defeat them with their combined strength. But we still have the manpower, but I believe this war is already costly to this end. Take this area back. And take Badakhshan again. And we'll figure it out from here. Even the forces of Malwa couldn't defeat him. Send his two committed elsewhere, wherever they went. Oh, that's you. A promising thinker to some, a dangerous instigator to others. Ibrahim Sharif has recently published a new work of natural philosophy, showing that it's very likely that many of the things we have held evident until now might be in fact wrong. To make matters worse, the thinkers also use opportunity by publication to mock the religious establishment. Take skin to get her has created this strong aversion against these new ideas. Some arguing that Abraham Shai should be incarcerated and punished, while others, at the very least, distance themselves from text. We cannot allow such blasphemy. We gotta take the war to them. Transoxiana is the difference maker. They're the ones with the largest army and the largest amount of manpower. Get them out of their confidence. Stick with land acquisition as we are expanding still. Where are they now? I mean, so that's where all went, but are they involved in another one? No, they're out there. And oh, there they are. They went to the southern front. They're going to be drawn to there. Our policy of supporting the expanded bureaucracy of our nation is really paying off. Every day, new officials are trained to set off glorious new careers in our administration. Just what I wanted. Bureaucracy, speaking of, let's up the national tax modifier. That will definitely help the economy. Start considering getting artillery. Get an advisor. You'll do. Help with the morale of armies as we've been, getting mauled out there. Some of that's due to looting foreign cities, but certainly. What else have we been doing? Yeah, no doubt they're going to be coming for this army. Or this one. Walls breached. You sure? No? Thinking of this one. Cannot move over there unless you ask Chagatai for access. Which they will. Okay. This is not going to help it. But I am not willing to spend any quantity ideas yet. Just want to get artillery, then I'll start working on all of these. We could go on the other side and help them out with the Merv garrison before that main army gets here. That fort's fallen. Huh? Oh, you sure? We'll be pillaged by Delhi. Oh, really? Get them out of the war. That'll be a difference maker. They're willing to pay a lot of ducats to us. No casualties against them. Bit of an aggressive expansion penalty just for pillaging them. Actually, let me renegotiate that. We can get Khorasan out of the war. We could just white peace it out and nothing bad will happen, alright? I don't need aggressive expansion because, you see, Like, what if it's... Yeah, it says... You know, the reparations as usual, but... Look, if you're pillaging that capital, that's aggressive expansion. I don't want that. So it's just slight modification. I like the money. And the reparations is fine too, but I don't need to pillage that area of yours. I have no territorial desires or even think about destroying. So, here you go. This will make things easier. Alrighty. We can use that money to, I don't know. Well, you're not going to get much diplomatic power out of it. You know, you're getting, even though you're getting kind of close to naval ambitions, but... What good is it if we have no navy? And you need some of that diplomatic power because of territorial gains for Afghanistan. So, actuality, since Delhi is... And we can get another building slot of it. You know what? Spend some of that on this. A little more. I think one more will do. Don't spend military power. Just want to get ahead of time for the developments of Delhi. Well, the good news is that they're out of war, but Transoxiana is still dangerous. Those casualties are unacceptable compared to them. It's ridiculous, honestly. Well, we have high morale. We can't be that kind of a country where we just send these men to die for nothing. This is what quantity ideas is for. It's to stop such silly... Such ridiculous things. Continue your route. They only took administrative ideas. Ah, so that's why the Transox gave it a hard time. They have higher morale of armies than we do. No wonder they were kicking our cans. Gotta bring this Fort of Merv down. Help them with their siege. Still status quo. This is not good progress. Now they're beginning their siege of Bukhara. We need to get them out of the war, then it'll be easy to negotiate Afghanistan. Status quo again. Hey, transfer. You don't have a siege ability. Clearly, you don't. Once we arrive, then transfer. You don't occupy here for a moment, then we'll get to you. Still status quo. Damn it! It's ridiculous. The war exhaustion is getting to us. Okay, now move up. Once you arrive, leave. Let this man who knows how to do the siege around here take it. Now you go. They're gonna go after them. Come over here. We might have a problem. They might too. Oh, so they're gonna go retake those areas. Earth garrison surrendered. Where's the Afghan forces? Oh, they're down there. Actually, no, that's... Oh, that is combined forces. It's their fort you're standing on. Not good at all. This angers me. How did the Allies lose a lot more strength than we do? It's a system on the siege of Kish. Just bring them down faster. And we may have an uprising very soon. Doing some thinking in the head. Because Transoxiana won't quit, not even offering them white peace. I mean, ongoing battle is one thing, but they still have some relevant objectives. Taking a capital would definitely knock them out. Oh, they were besieging that fort and they're about to take it. They still say no. Not even them. All we need to do is beat the heck out of them in a battle. Find a battle where they must fight. Keep them away. But I think we found a battleground here. If we can get everybody over here. They're heading this way. But they don't want to fight. Well, we gotta keep the pressure. Stand still. Okay, now they're coming in. Wait till they're moving sock and we're gonna try to save our guys. We'll soon come back and deal with them once we're done with Transoxiana. And Bukhara will soon fall. Just gotta get their war enthusiasm down to medium. It's the best way. Just hold them off. Just arrived in time. Everybody's here. These guys fight hard because of their high morale. Just take the fort and we'll go on. They're not surrendering yet. And they still have a lot of manpower reserves. Gotta reduce that. The nobility and the businessmen in Rome have decided to reward our good governance of recent years by donating cash to treasury, some out of pure patriotism, others in exchange for honorary titles and positions. We'll take both. I know some people who can contribute. We gotta get rid of these guys, or more will come, and then we'll have a hard time dealing with all sorts of problems. You're gonna be the one to take Samarkand. Once we take Kish, we're withdrawing to deal with the separatists before we come back up there. Oh, don't do it again. That's a terrible idea. I understand you want to keep up the pressure, but still. Don't you know what they're doing? Not only you're dealing with Afghans, but some Transoxianians, these hardcore fighters. But clearly they got them off, finally. Kish will fall. Please fall. And it didn't. Well then. Okay, now we can finally get them out of the war. All it took is them to beat them out. And we'll finally claim Afghanistan. We'll have white peace with Transoxian. I want nothing from them. We don't want none of them. That's all I gotta say. We're just white basing. We don't want none. You've bested us too many times. I don't want any money from you. Because that would just be petty. Wait, I could, for how much? Really? This many? You sure? That's a huge amount. It cost us nothing. No aggressive expansion penalty. Okay. We'll take the money and we're gonna get out of here, alright? Because we got separatist problems to deal with. I'll negotiate you in a moment. Are you coming to deal with him? Lost our claim, Jamal. Or you're gonna do that for us. Oh, you have a better general, so yeah. Frick, that's gonna get us down to 0. Okay. Now that we're here, we will annex Afghanistan. No coalition will be formed. And give me the rest of the money that you got, and I'll figure out what to spend. Likely mercenaries the next time we try to fight another war. Lessons learned. If you are fighting a nation that has an idea or a national idea that involves morale of armies, bring your A game. Alright? Next time. Lessons learned. Never again. Glorious victory, my eye. Look at this. That is the worst war I've ever fought that involves victory. That, my friends, is what we call a Pyrrhic victory. The worst kind of Pyrrhic victory I've ever seen in any game. And I feel very guilty about this, and I've learned. And I will vow to never do that again. Okay, we're out of here. So it'll be easier to reinforce a little. That also means, that, you know, fighting against Jaunpur is going to have to wait a little bit longer. So they're going to get off easy, and they're going to have the manpower reserves, no doubt. And they got their little allies, and they still have their best friend Gujarat with them. That's why I saved these for. Oh, it's enough for all. Good. Never again. Although the Timurids are weaker as they're fighting yet another war that they're defending. It's for one of their allies, yes? Excuse me. No, you're attacking the Timurids. No, Sasha, that's the one that started it. If I wanted to, I could take advantage of their weakness, but of course you would already have the aggressive expansion penalty and you would form coalition. They would form a coalition against me, knowing what the heck I've been doing. We're at peacetime now. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Let me see. Cultures. As we will core these lands of this Afghan territory, and if I see them as a non-accepted culture, I will accept them. Because may never know that I'll become Mughals in future instead of Delhi Sultanate. No more separatism, please. If there's going to be next uprising, it's going to be here. You're on stand. And next time, bring better generals. Because we are basically out of our league. So yeah, it's our historic rival, the Timurids. We don't like them. I don't like you. But we fought this Pyrrhic victory. This is just to subdue the Afghans. It's a mission we're trying to do here. It's just to get in here. More army tradition. Stability costs modifier reduced, which we want to have a very stable Sultanate. And all that and more. Now, in case of future conflict, I mean, we gotta get you to join us, but of course you are definitely exhausted, which I will give you time to recover. As with me, too. Get that exhaustion down a little more. Spent by 71. Yeah, definitely. She died. Let's pray for her soul. I mean, she was a little old, honestly. Now, before we leave this episode, go pick your few new rivals. Timurids for one. And the other is, Eek. Transoxiana simply for the sake of it. Because they kicked our ass. Which I hope to never face them again. Fortunately for the Timurids, they only have very few allies. And if we fought them in a theoretical war, it'll be very easy. But land leader shock is their tradition to Timurids. And they only have two ideas from religious ideas, which is interesting in itself. But I don't think you should worry too much. But from now on, we'll leave you with this lesson on this episode. Look at your enemies. Think of their size. Think about your generals and the drilling. And you should drill too. in preparation of future conflict. Improve your damn skills. And the next time we fight the war, we're going to be bringing in the heavy artillery. Because we're going to start introducing that into our armies. As we will recover our manpower and such. So let's just hope for more positive things. And try to think positive in the next episode. But until then, so long for now.